So this word area code is thrown around at ball fields all over the country. And yet I don't think people really understand what the area code game process is. So can you talk a little bit about, you mentioned the tryout. How does a high school player get recommended for the tryout?
By Major League Scouts.
Okay, so I'm playing for my summer team or I'm playing for my high school team, and a Major League Scout, probably a regional scouting
Right.
guy, sees me play and calls up whoever's running the area code.
That would be the Major League team that represents the area codes. Like in this case, the Oakland A's represent Northern California.
Okay.
So the Oakland A's area scout, he leads that charge.
Got it.
Now he incorporates scouts from other team to help him with that, and they congregate and they do it together. But he's, it's a tough job. I'm glad I never had to do it, but he has to go as long as do his job for the current draft. He's got to run around and find all the resources and the talent to fill that area code game, not embarrass himself, and provide our industry with the best players from Northern California. To me, it would be a lot of pressure.
Sure. So it sounds like if I lived in Northern California, an area scout for an MLB team would recommend me for the tryout, and then what would happen at the tryout?
If you would be somewhat vetted. I mean, Jermaine Clark, I guess, is the guy with Oakland. You'd probably have to run it through him. If I called him and said, "Hey, there's a kid at the local high school," and he'd ask me some questions. I don't think it would be automatic. I wouldn't want it to be automatic. But he says, how hard does this guy throw? If he's like 80, 89, 90 miles an hour, and is he throwing enough strikes? How big is he? I mean, that in itself might get him there. I've done it long enough. He might take my word for it. He certainly would take the words of those that are very close to him and that he trusts. But, it doesn't take the scouting industry. I mean, we speak a language, so we can cut to the chase pretty quick. So he could ask me 3 questions, and he could establish pretty quickly if this guy's, because it's so rare. I mean, it's just that kid, we're taking, 20 kids or whatever it is. I mean, they're the best kids in Northern California, all the way down to Fresno. And
so how many kids would, on a typical year, show up to the area code tryout? So it's a recommended player by a regional scout.
You know what? I really don't. I don't go to that too much anymore.
Okay.
I have other duties on the East Coast, stuff like that. But I wouldn't know if there's a limit. But I would probably say, just guessing 40, 50 guys.
So let's say 40, 50 guys for Northern California, fighting for how many spots to play on the Northern California team?
Oh, probably 20, 24 guys.
So 20, 24 guys. And as you mentioned, in Northern California, it's the Oakland A's that run this. And so they're going to have the final say on the 20 or so guys that go there.
They will. The general manager, which would be the Oakland A's scout, would have his group, guys he works with. Maybe the guy from the Cleveland Indians, one of our guys, our area guy helps with it, and it's picking a team.
Okay,
and
so
you try out.
These 20 or so guys go to a national tournament. Is that how it works?
With the West Coast, speaking of what I know best, on the West Coast, the area code games are in Long Beach. It's in the first week or so, 10 days of August at Blair Field, Long Beach, and teams come from all over the country. The Rangers bring a team from the Texas area, and the New England team, and a Florida team, and a Northwest team, and a Southeast team, and they all congregate and they just go at it. They play all day into the night.
So top talent in the country, and it's wood bats the whole bit, and they're just competing in front of scouts to evaluate for the draft.